You can feel it, can't you, that sacred trembling beneath your peace? The quiet discomfort, the unexplainable restlessness rising in your chest. Not from fear, but from something deeper. It is not anxiety. It is awakening. The angels have gathered. Their wings beat in rhythm with heaven's decree. The atmosphere around you is no longer the same, and whether you realize it or not, you've already stepped into the outer rim of a divine relocation. This isn't just change. This is transition. This is movement. This is sacred alignment. You're not being moved randomly. This isn't chaos. This is precision. The blueprint of heaven has long held the coordinates of your new place. A place prepared before time, carved into existence by the very breath of God. And now, the angels sing over you, not because the journey is ending, but because a greater chapter is just beginning. You've outgrown the space you're in. It's not your imagination. That feeling that you no longer fit in the same conversations, the same cycles, the same places you once found comfort in. That's not dysfunction. It's not you being dramatic. It's not failure. It's growth. Your soul has expanded beyond the old container. You're no longer able to pretend that almost enough is enough. The rooms you once entered with ease now feel tight, suffocating, hollow. Why? Because your inner atmosphere has changed. You've evolved spiritually, emotionally, energetically. And now, what once felt like home has become foreign. You can't shrink to fit anymore, and heaven won't let you. The angels have been gently stirring your soul, speaking through your unease, your boredom, your dissatisfaction, your late-night weeping. It's time, they say. You're not being left behind. You're being lifted up. The divine blueprint has already been drawn. This shift was not born today. It was written in the heavenly scrolls before your first breath. What you're entering now is not an accident. It's a prophetic milestone. Heaven has drawn the path. The signs have been scattered like breadcrumbs along your way. Moments of divine discontent, whispers in your dreams, unexpected endings, divine delays. You didn't miss anything. In fact, every disappointment, every closed door, every delay was part of the choreography. Heaven repositioning you not to punish, but to prepare. The place you're headed is not just physical. It's spiritual. It's emotional. It's vibrational. You're stepping into alignment, into frequency, into destiny. The angels have watched you in secret. Do not think you are unseen. The angels have watched you cry behind closed doors. They witnessed your silent prayers, the way your heart broke without a sound. They held you while you waited, through nights of disappointment, through months of stillness, through years of feeling misplaced. And now, they come bearing a message, a declaration from the throne of heaven. The time has come. You've been faithful in places that were never meant to hold you forever. Now you're being moved. This is not just a move. It's a resurrection. You are not just changing places. You're stepping into a resurrected version of your life. This is not relocation for the sake of novelty. This is transformation. This is exit from survival and entry into overflow. You're leaving behind maintenance mode and entering into divine multiplication. There is no mistake. What's being removed from your life right now is intentional. Relationships falling away, assignments ending, things that once fulfilled you now feel lifeless. It's because your current container cannot support the weight of your future. You are stepping into purpose-activated territory, into the version of life that was always waiting for you once you healed, once you surrendered, once you matured into the truth of who you really are. And you're ready now. Even if you don't feel it, heaven has decided. But first, the discomfort before every sacred shift, there's a stretching. You're not crazy for feeling emotional, or tired, or strangely detached from everything that once gave you certainty. This is what happens right before God moves. He starts to unhook you from the old, gently, divinely, decisively. The people who once comforted you become quiet. The rooms where you once felt favored become heavy. The work that once made you proud now feels like obligation. It's not failure. It's transition. The soul knows long before the body does. And what you've been calling confusion is, in truth, preparation. You are not falling apart. You are being reconstructed. What awaits you is more than a place. It's a season. Your new home is not just walls and windows. It's not just a new job, a new city, or a new opportunity. Your new home is a frequency. It's the version of life where you don't just survive, you thrive. Where your gifts are not tolerated, but celebrated. Where your presence isn't dimmed, but ignites. Where your name is spoken in rooms you never had to manipulate your way into. It is a life built around your healed identity. Where peace is no longer earned, it is the baseline. Where love doesn't make you beg, it meets you with mutual honor. Where purpose doesn't drain you, it fuels you. And every door that is opening now is not a chance. It's a calling. The signs are already appearing. Heaven never moves without leaving hints. Look around you. The shift is already manifesting in glimpses. You're losing interest in what used to distract you. Old friendships are quietly fading. New people are appearing with aligned energy. You feel drawn to declutter, not just your house, but your heart. You're dreaming of new environments, even if you can't explain why. These are angelic signposts. These are whispers saying, pack, prepare, you're going, not later. Now, the angels want you to declare it. There is power in agreement. Heaven has spoken. Now it's your turn, not with anxiety, not with striving, but with holy agreement. Let your spirit whisper it back. I'm ready for what's next. I release what no longer holds me. I trust the move, even if I don't see the map. I know heaven has prepared a place just for me, because it has. You may not have packed your bags yet. You may still be sitting in the same chair, waking up in the same room, walking the same path you've walked for years. But whether or not you realize it, the exodus has already begun. This isn't the kind of move where you call the moving truck or notify your friends. This isn't about geography or logistics. This is the kind of move that begins in the spirit realm. And beloved, yours is already underway. Heaven relocates in silence. First, the Spirit of God doesn't shout when it shifts you. He whispers. He nudges. He begins by pulling your soul away from things before your body ever follows. That's why you felt the strange ache in your chest when you're in familiar places. Why the conversations that used to bring comfort now sound hollow. Why you've been exhausted even after a full night of sleep. Your spirit has been in motion even when your feet have stayed still. You're already being let out. The angels are not waiting until you're ready. They're escorting you now, in quiet steps, through invisible corridors of transition. You're not late. You're not stuck. You are in transit. The tearing is proof of movement. You've felt it, haven't you? The quiet collapse. Not everything is crashing loudly. Some things are simply fading. Old friendships are falling into silence. Opportunities you once prayed for now feel like burdens. The pace of your life is slowing down, not in failure, but in realignment. And while you might interpret this as loss, heaven calls it releasing. Letting go is not always chosen. Sometimes it's enforced by grace, because you were never meant to carry the weight of expired seasons into divine ones. The Holy Spirit is removing what cannot travel with you. What served you before would only suffocate you now. Your soul already knows where you're headed, even if your mind doesn't know the address. Your spirit has already seen the new space. And that's why you're craving peace more than productivity. That's why you're hungry for silence over noise. That's why what once felt exciting now feels like a distraction. It's not depression. It's departure. Your soul is already leaning into the atmosphere of your new home. And because of that, it has become allergic to chaos, resistant to fakeness, unwilling to tolerate anything less than truth, peace, and presence. You are being recalibrated to where you're going. That's why what's around you now feels foreign. You're being internally recoded to match the frequency of your future life. Heaven is helping you pack emotionally. You may not have seen the boxes yet, but you've started packing, haven't you? You're wrapping up old patterns. You're taping shut relationships that no longer echo your values. You're labeling wounds with closure, no longer begging them to define you. This isn't about cardboard and bubble wrap. This is about detaching your identity from everything that was tied to survival. The angels are standing in your spiritual house, gently gathering the pieces of you that have grown weary. They are whispering, "You don't need this anymore. This version of you was for then, but we're going somewhere new." And as they pack, they are planting something new in your chest. Expectation. The exit was foretold. Even if you didn't see it, you may think this shift is sudden, but heaven has been planning it since your wilderness began. Every divine delay, every closed door, every relationship that ended without clarity, every yes that turned into a no. It wasn't coincidence. It was orchestration. God wasn't punishing you. He was preserving you, keeping you hidden, tending your roots underground. Because when the next season comes, He doesn't want you to merely survive it. He wants you to own it, steward it, lead in it. This is not just a relocation. This is an elevation. Divine upgrades require space. Have you noticed the voids? The emptiness you've been wondering why nothing feels like it used to. Why people are quieter. Why you're less excited about things you once celebrated. It's because your soul is shedding old skin. Heaven cannot fill a full cup. And so, God is making room. This is the painful part, but it's also the prophetic part. He's removing things that once gave you identity so He can reintroduce you to the version of you He originally designed. The confident you, the healed you, the unshaken you, the free you. And when you meet this version of yourself fully, you'll wonder how you ever lived without her. Your new home isn't just a place. It's a person, yes. The angels are guiding you into new physical spaces, new atmospheres, new relationships. But more than that, they're guiding you into yourself. You are about to become the safest place you've ever known. Because this shift isn't about finding the perfect job, partner, or location. This shift is about coming home to the healed you. The version of you who no longer begs for love, but walks in wholeness. The version of you who no longer apologizes for your light, but radiates without restraint. This is the return to Eden, inside of you. The prophetic evidence around you, the signs, are everywhere. You're hearing the same words repeatedly. Move, shift, change. You've been bumping into people who reflect the next level of your life. You're feeling called to clean, organize, simplify. Your appetite is changing. Your body is asking for rest before the run begins. These are not small things. They are prophetic indicators. And the biggest one, your heart feels unsettled, not in panic, but in anticipation. It's as if your spirit knows something big is around the corner. Because it is. You're not losing. You're aligning as people drift, as doors shut, as old versions of you begin to dissolve. You may feel tempted to grieve. But the angels whisper, this is not loss. This is alignment. Nothing heaven removes is ever for your harm. You're being streamlined, simplified, fortified. Because the life that's waiting for you is too big to carry excess. You are entering a season of clarity, and only what belongs in your next dimension will survive the journey. The angels are speaking to you now. They've watched long enough. They've guarded you through quiet wars, wept with you through lonely nights, whispered comfort when no one saw your pain. And now they're rejoicing, because the move has begun. And their message is clear. You are ready. You are always ready. We have prepared a place for you. It's time to go. Not in fear, but in faith. Not in grief, but in gratitude. Not in desperation, but in full divine confidence that what you're walking into is exactly what heaven wrote for you. Heaven doesn't just move you from something. It moves you into something. And while many spend their days fearing the loss of the familiar, those who trust the divine process find something far more valuable waiting on the other side. Wholeness. Not fleeting happiness. Not shallow comfort, but deep, settled, spirit-born alignment. The place you're being guided into is not merely a new address. It's not just a better relationship. It's not a promotion or an escape. It is a place where your inner life finally agrees with your outer world, where your energy, your emotions, your essence, and your environment are in harmony. And for the first time, you'll feel it. I belong here. What your new home feels like you've been shown glimpses already. In dreams. In moments of quiet. In flashes of beauty that take your breath away for no logical reason. But the angels are ready now to describe it more clearly. Your new home. the one heaven is leading you toward, is a living atmosphere of peace. No more walking on eggshells. No more dimming your light to protect fragile egos. No more tolerating what drains you. This home, this season, this frequency will not require performance. You will not have to explain yourself constantly. You will not have to prove your value daily. You will exist in your fullness and be loved right there. This is a life built for the version of you that knows how to receive, the you that trusts, the you that surrenders. You will no longer feel like a stranger in your own life. No more survival. This is your permission to thrive you've spent so long surviving, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. You adapted to spaces that didn't fit you because you were told that humility looked like shrinking. You adjusted your dreams down to match the ceilings of others. You made excuses for things that quietly broke your soul. But you're not meant to shrink. You were created for abundance, joy, impact, overflow. The place you're going will require all of you, not just the obedient you, not just the hardworking you, but the vibrant, healed, laughing, fully alive version of you. And God is saying, you don't have to apologize for this anymore. I am giving you permission to thrive. What heaven has been preparing behind the scenes, it's easy to feel behind. Easy to believe you missed the right timing. But heaven has been weaving the threads beneath the surface. The right people, already being aligned. The right connections, already forming. The open doors, already unlocking. All of it has been in motion without your knowledge. Just because you haven't seen it in the physical doesn't mean heaven hasn't completed it in the spiritual. In fact, what you'll walk into in this next season has been fully custom designed for your growth, your gifting, your purpose, your restoration. Nothing about this is generic. You're not being placed into someone else's blessing. You are stepping into something with your name engraved on the foundation. The walls of your old life can't hold your expansion. Maybe you've already tried to fix what's been falling apart. You've prayed for revival in spaces that were never supposed to survive this long. You've begged God to resuscitate things He's already pronounced dead. Why? Because it was familiar. But heaven is whispering now, I'm not asking you to fix the past. I'm offering you a future. The old rooms were too small. The old rhythms too limiting. You're not leaving behind peace. You're leaving behind the false illusion of peace that was actually codependency, fear, burnout, or a compromise. Heaven doesn't want to patch your old life. Heaven wants to build something entirely new. No more shrinking to fit your new season will not require masks. You won't have to soften your passion to be accepted. You won't have to silence your voice to keep the peace. You won't have to pretend everything's fine when it's not. This shift will introduce you to environments that honor your honesty, that celebrate your fire, that make room for your truth. Because healing isn't hiding. And the people who meet you in this next chapter, they'll meet the real you, and they'll still stay. They'll still love. They'll still choose you. You won't have to beg for loyalty or beg to be understood. They will just know, a place where you are chosen, not tolerated. Have you ever felt like you were too much, too emotional, too sensitive, too ambitious, too spiritual? You're not too much. You were just in places that didn't have the capacity for your calling. But this new space, it's been designed to handle your depth, your intensity, your softness, your faith. And instead of being tolerated, you will be chosen. Because when God brings you into the right place at the right time, you don't have to force your way in. You just walk in and shine. And heaven says, this is your time to shine. We've made space for you. The energy of this new season, let's name it. It feels like peace, not the absence of noise, but the presence of harmony. It feels like belonging, not earned, but simply known. It feels like clarity, no more emotional fog, second-guessing, or spiritual numbness. It feels like safety to speak, to rest, to breathe, to rebuild. This is not the end of your journey. This is a beginning born in wholeness. And the most powerful part? You'll no longer question if you're worthy of it. You'll step into it knowing, this was always mine. An angelic whisper, just for you the angels sing over you now. Not because you made it on your own, but because you trusted through the silence. And their message is simple. The wilderness trained you. The fire refined you. But this This is your reward. Not because you earned it, but because you were faithful through the places that didn't see you. Now, heaven will show you a life that does. Declare this over your life, say it. Speak it. Anchor your soul in it. I am not returning to who I was. I am stepping into the life heaven preserved for the real me. I don't have to force it. I don't have to shrink for it. I am ready for my new home, one built in truth, healing, joy, and peace.